Hey guys, and welcome to Crime Cafe. I'm bringing you a weekly crime, and it's gonna be about Bigfoot and about how the myth, the belief of Bigfoot or Sasquatch completely tore apart two families and just destroyed their lives. So I will be bringing you that today. If you haven't already, grab yourself a cup of coffee, tea, whatever it is you want to drink, and sit back, relax, and let's dive in. On July 9th, 2022, so this month, friends 53-year-old Larry Sanders and 52-year-old Jimmy Knighten went to the Oklahoma South Canadian River to do some noodling together. If you don't know what noodling is, it's barehanded catfishing. The noodler, the person, places their hand inside a catfish hole in order to catch the fish. So it's just fishing with your bare hands. Larry and Jimmy were way more than just fishing buddies. They were lifelong friends. They were best friends since school. They grew up together. Their families were completely intertwined. Their kids hung out together. They were like family. Jimmy Knighten had 3 children, ages 20, 28, and 29. He was married to their mother, Stacy, for 20 years. The two of them got a divorce but stayed on extremely good terms. They were still really close to each other. They had a really close relationship to the point where Stacy's 2 children from her second marriage actually called Jimmy Popo. Jimmy is described as loving, caring, and a selfless person who wouldn't hesitate to give someone the shirt off his own back. And really, that's exactly what he was doing for his friend Larry. Larry was having some trouble and he had fallen on hard times. So Jimmy offered to help Larry with work, find work as a mechanic, and he was even letting him stay at his home because he didn't have anywhere else to go. So he opened up his home to him. He was trying to find him work. He was really trying to help him get him back on his feet because they were lifelong friends and he couldn't see him suffer by himself. Larry was described as a troubled person. He had some run-ins with the law. He had 2 outstanding warrants related to unpaid fines in 2 drug-related cases. He was put on probation in 2019 for 5 years after he brought illegal substances into a jail when he was arrested for intoxication. Larry was known around town for getting into mischief, and he had a tendency to not be too nice to people. He had a tendency to get quite mean to some people sometimes. But nevertheless, Larry and Jimmy were always together. They were always best friends, and so were their children. So on July 9th, Jimmy and Larry set out to go fishing. This is nothing unusual for them. They did this form of fishing a million times before, but this time was different. This time, things went terribly, terribly wrong. Larry Sanders ultimately attacked and killed Jimmy Knighten, and it was all allegedly because Larry thought that Jimmy was summoning Bigfoot to come eat him. Yes. Yes, you heard that right. According to the Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation, the 2 friends had gotten into a physical altercation, and Larry Sanders confessed to striking and strangling Jimmy out of fear that he would be left alone in the woods to be eaten by Bigfoot. Okay, so if you don't know, Bigfoot, also known as Sasquatch, is an ape-like creature who is said to inhabit the forests of North America. Bigfoot is most often described as being large and muscular, covered in black, dark brown, or dark reddish hair. His estimated height is roughly between 6 to 9 feet, with some descriptions of him being 10 to 15 feet tall. Some alleged observations described Bigfoot as being more man-like with a human face, and then some descriptions describe him as just more like an oversized ape-like creature. There have been over 10,000 reported Bigfoot sightings in the United States. About 1/3 of all claims of Bigfoot sightings are located in the Pacific Northwest, with the remaining reports spread throughout the rest of North America. Most reports are considered mistakes or hoaxes, even by researchers who fully believe that Bigfoot exists. Sightings usually occur in the northwestern region of Washington, Oregon, Northern California, and British Columbia. The majority of mainstream scientists have historically discounted the existence of Bigfoot, considering it to be the result of a combination of folklore, misidentification, and hoax rather than a living animal. Now, with all that being said, we're caught up on Bigfoot. It was stated that the day Larry and Jimmy went fishing, Larry's daughter was home when he had walked back through the door that evening without Jimmy. Larry's daughter has claimed that when he returned to the house, he was frantic and talking about Bigfoot. He claimed Jimmy was trying to feed him to Bigfoot, so he had to kill him. Larry then mentioned something about strangling Jimmy and possibly firing shots from a pistol. Now, Larry didn't just say these statements to his daughter. He also said them in front of her boyfriend, who is Jimmy's son. So, simultaneously, Larry's daughter called her mother, Larry's ex-wife, and let her know what her dad was saying, while Jimmy's son called his mother, letting her know what Larry was saying he did to his dad, and that he was making sure that he kept him there until the authorities arrived. It was Larry's daughter's mother, so Larry's ex-wife, who actually called the police and told them what was taking place at the house. Once a deputy got to the residence, it stated that Larry was unable to stand still and he was thought to be under the influence of something. Larry's daughter told the deputy what her father confessed to, and Larry was initially arrested on an outstanding warrant while the police gathered more information and searched for Jimmy. While in custody, Larry was actually extremely cooperative with the police. He made a confession to 2 special agents with the Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation, and he also drew out a map to help investigators find Jimmy's body. The affidavit quotes, Larry claimed that while at the river, he discovered Jimmy intended to feed him to Sasquatch/Bigfoot. Larry indicated Jimmy attempted to get away from him so that the Sasquatch could eat Larry. Larry would not let Jimmy get away. Larry punched Jimmy and struck Jimmy with a stick. Larry and Jimmy fought for an extended amount of time on the ground. Larry confirmed he killed Jimmy by choking him to death near the river. End quote. So after Larry drew the map and shared the details of what had happened, the investigators took his map and went and searched for Jimmy. They described the location as a very wooded area, a lot of small brush and large trees, and due to this, it was a very difficult search. That and the fact that it was a very wide area for them to be searching for Jimmy. It was around 24 hours later that investigators found Jimmy Knighten's body and they charged Larry Sanders with his murder. In an interview with Jimmy's ex-wife, Stacy, she says that confrontation was sparked after Jimmy started hitting a tin bell to lure the fish to the surface when they were fishing. And Larry, being a firm and avid believer in Bigfoot, apparently grew paranoid that Jimmy had other more sinister and bizarre intentions. Stacy says that Larry has been claiming that there's a Bigfoot in the area for several years. She was friends with Larry since high school. They were all high school friends. She said Larry believed that Jimmy was summoning Bigfoot and was planning on leaving him in the woods, I guess, to be eaten by him. She is quoted saying, I don't know what Jimmy was meant to have done, but the only thing I was told was that he was banging on this tin bell or piece of pipe and was trying to find the fish, and I guess Larry took it a different way. I think he's just trying to get out of jail. I think he's just trying to save his own butt. I think it's all very far-fetched, but in his mind, if he has a mental health issue or anything, it could be very real to him, end quote. Larry has been charged with the first-degree murder of Jimmy Knighten, and he is being held in jail. Now, I found this story to be wild. The fact that they were best friends since high school. I know drugs can alter your state of mind and all of that, but I keep imagining Larry in the jail cell, being sober and realizing exactly what he did. The fact that they've been fishing a million times before, and I'm sure Jimmy has banged on a tin can or a pipe before to lure the fish to the surface, and I'm sure Larry knew that that was a thing, but whatever state of mind he was in made him really paranoid and thought that he had to kill his best friend to survive. It's a seriously sad case. I can't imagine what was going through Jimmy's mind during those final moments, and just what the family thinks. I know I know Stacy was saying that she wants him to be punished. She wants him to have a life in prison, but when it comes to the death penalty, she can't help but think of his children. She can't help but think of his children, and their families were so close. Their kids, both sets of kids, not only lost their dads, but lost the other dads as well. It's an extremely sad situation for everyone involved. But I want to know everything that you think of this case. It's really, that's all the information I could find on it. It's a very quick open and shut case, but I just found it to be wild and I had to share it with you. So let me know what you think of it, and if you see any other like little details, please leave them in the comments below like always. So if you guys have any suggestions, I do have a link in the description box where you can just fill out a form and it gets sent directly to me. And I really do appreciate any suggestions. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe and hit the bell because it'll notify you every single time I upload a new video. I hope you enjoyed today's video and thank you so much for giving me your time. Bye.